Hi everybody, today we're going to start learning about function operations. So today we're going to be adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So a little bit of vocabulary before we get started. A function is a polynomial where every input has exactly one output, and an operation, it would be the process of adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. So those are things that you have seen before. We just want to clear that up before we get into our notes. So example 1 says, perform the indicated operation. Use f of x equals 2x and g of x equals x plus 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do f plus g. And that's addition, right? And the most important thing that you know that it is addition. Knowing the operation is extremely important. So all I need to do is substitute in. F of x is 2x plus g of x is x plus 1. And it's very important that we use parentheses. So maybe I'll write that down. Parentheses. All right, make sure you don't forget. So when you're adding, it makes it really easy because there's just a positive and 1 in front of everything. So that becomes 2x plus x plus 1. Nothing really changes. And then you need to combine your like terms. So 2x plus 1x is 3x plus 1. And that's adding. Example 2, we're subtracting. So I'm going to use f of x is 3x to the third plus 2x squared minus x plus 3. And g of x is x squared minus 6x plus 3. So I'm going to subtract again. So f of x is 3x to the third plus 2x squared minus x plus 3 in parentheses minus x squared minus 6x plus 3. So now this first polynomial, f of x, has a positive 1 in front. So if I distribute that, nothing changes. So 3x to the third plus 2x squared minus x plus 3. However, on the right side, I've got this negative 1 that I definitely need to distribute. So I have a negative x squared, then a negative times a negative is a positive 6x minus 3. And then the last step is just to combine your like terms. So the first term, I have 3x to the third, nothing else. We've got a 2x squared minus x squared is 1x squared. Negative 1x plus 6x is 5x. Then I've got 3 minus 3 is 0. Just make sure you're very careful with your negatives. And then that's my final answer. So adding and subtracting are very similar. You use parentheses, distribute either a positive 1 or a negative 1, and then combine like terms. In example 3, we're going to get to multiplication. So that's here. That means multiply. And again, it's very important to know which operation you're supposed to do. So I've got f times g, so that is 2x to the squared minus 3 times x plus 1. And now you have two different ways to multiply, and I'm going to go over both to make sure we're all prepared. So I'm going to FOIL this one. 2x squared times x is 2x to the third. Then I've got 2x squared times 1 is 2x squared minus 3x minus 3. There are no like terms, so that is my final answer. However, some of you may have learned a different way, and that's okay. I need a 2 by 2 here. I've got 2x squared and minus 3 and x plus 1. So then I multiply. So 2x to the third, 2x squared times 1 is 2x squared. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x, and negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. And then you'll write it out, combine your like terms, you'll get the same answer. So there's two different ways to do that. Multiplication. So number 4, you can see we've got division. So I'm going to do f of x divided by g of x. So f of x is 4x to the 1/3 divided by g of x is x to the 1/2. So you do have to simplify here, and it's important to know when you have to do that. The 4 over 1, right, just stays 4 over 1. However, now I'm dividing two things with the same base. So I hope you're saying, oh yeah, definitely, I remember that. I need to subtract the exponent. So that equals 4 over, we're going to do 1/2 minus 1/3. And if you need to bust out your calculator, you'll do that. But you get 1/6. And that's your final answer. So that's our video today on function operations. And you'll notice I did the first example was addition. The second example was subtraction. Third example, multiplication. And fourth example, division. So you have one of every example. So you guys can go ahead and work on your in-class practice.